This 17 News at Noon podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
And good afternoon, and thanks for joining us here at noon. I'm Elena Rusk, and headline of the day, of course, is the visit by the First Lady of the United States. Now, the First Lady landed at Meadows Field just before 9 a.m. in her second visit to Kern County. Her entourage then drove her east to the Cesar Chavez Monument and Memorial in Keene. That's tucked away in the Tehachapi Mountains. The monument about a 45-minute drive from Meadows Field, just off of the 58. There, she attended a naturalization ceremony where 31 people swore their allegiance to the United States to become citizens of the country. This is just happening 3 days before Cesar Chavez Day, coming up this Thursday. All right, so 17's Maddie Gannon is live for us in Keene. That's where that ceremony just wrapped up about an hour ago. Maddie, good afternoon to you.
Elena, good afternoon. As you mentioned, it was less than an hour ago that this naturalization ceremony wrapped up. It was a fairly intimate ceremony, as you mentioned, with 31 people taking the oath of U.S. citizenship. The First Lady spoke for about 7 minutes. She mentioned her own ancestors coming to America from Italy and talked about what her Italian heritage meant to her. She's the first and only Italian-American First Lady of the United States. Biden also talked about the legacy of Cesar Chavez. The ceremony was held at the National Chavez Center, which honors the late labor leader and co-founder of the United Farm Workers. And this is a sentiment Biden has been involved in before. She came to Kern almost exactly a year ago to visit 40 acres in Delano, where Chavez fasted in 1968 to raise awareness for farm workers' rights. Today, the First Lady spoke directly to those becoming U.S. citizens. Here's what she said.
Today, you are not just Americans. You are Americans by choice. And like so many generations of immigrants who have come before you, you will shape your corner of our country to be stronger, more unique, and more beautiful than before.
Biden also started the speech mentioning Madeleine Albright, the first female Secretary of State who died last week at 84. We will have full coverage of the First Lady's visit to Kern tonight at 5. Live in Keene, Maddie Gannon, 17 News.
All right, Maddie, thank you so much. We'll look forward to that continuing coverage.
Hello, this is Tim Callahan with Clinica Sierra Vista, and we're excited to unveil the Community Health Center of the Future, our comprehensive care center. It's located right across the street from Memorial Hospital. We have every service under one roof, from family medicine, OBGYN care, dental services for adults and children, behavioral health, and much more. So find your way to better care at Clinica Sierra Vista this year at our comprehensive care center. Visit our website, clinicasierravista.org, for the latest on this project. We'll see you soon.
All right, now to your 17 Crime Watch. Bakersfield police are investigating a shooting in East Bakersfield early this morning that killed a person and wounded 2 others, including an innocent elderly man lying in his bed. Just after 2 a.m., officers responded to ShotSpotter activation on East Truxton Avenue and Robinson Street. Police say they found 2 men suffering from gunshots in the parking lot of the Morisco's Urupan business. One of the victims was pronounced deceased at the hospital, and the other listed in critical condition. The identity of the deceased victim will be released by the Kern County Coroner's Office at a later time. Now, during the investigation, police say a bullet went through a wall of a home on East 19th Street and struck an elderly man in his bed. He was taken to the hospital and is listed in stable condition. Anyone with information regarding this investigation is asked to call the BPD at 327-7111. And the BPD has arrested a suspect from a shooting over the weekend. Officers say at least one person died after the shooting in South Bakersfield just after 1 a.m. yesterday morning, happening there on Lotus Lane near Bradshaw Street. Today, the BPD announced they have arrested and booked 32-year-old Jermel Keaton on a charge of first-degree murder, among other felony charges of violating parole, reckless evading a police officer, and driving in opposition of traffic. Now, if you know anything about this shooting, also call police. That number again, 327-7111. Meanwhile, police are asking for your help in finding a missing teen they say is at risk. 14-year-old Ariana Perez was last seen on Saturday in southwest Bakersfield on White Lane just west of Weibel. Police say she is 5 foot 4 inches tall, 210 pounds, with long light brown and green hair and a nose ring in her left nostril. She was last seen wearing a black t-shirt, gray sweatpants, and black Nike Air Force shoes. Police say she is at risk due to a medical condition, and if you know anything about Perez's whereabouts, you're asked to call Bakersfield Police. That number again one more time. We want to make sure you have it, 327-7111. All right, and now to gas prices as California's gas continues to hit record-breaking highs each day. The statewide average gas price set a new record Friday at $5.90 per gallon for regular unleaded. And today, AAA says the national average is now at $4.24. That's the same as Friday, but California's average up to a new record now, $5.91. While Kern County is also up with an average of $5.88. Gas Buddy lead analyst Patrick DeHaan told 17 News that if the wholesale prices decline, and a gas tax holiday is approved, then prices could go down. But if markets are volatile and the wholesale price shoots up, then drivers wouldn't see much of a change because it would be offset by the tax. For now, DeHaan says don't expect the $6 a gallon price to stick around long term. If you are trying to find the gas station with the cheapest price near you, just head over to the gas tracker on our website, kget.com. Today, there is still one report of a station selling gas at less than $5 a gallon. That's the Mobile station on F Street downtown, listed at $4.89 for regular unleaded. But those prices change often, so check the gas tracker on the traffic tab of our website, kget.com. And happening around town, runners yesterday hit the streets for this year's Bakersfield Marathon. The race took over large parts of the city, causing streets to temporarily close throughout the day. Within an hour, runners began to finish their races, get their medals, and take a break, of course. In less than 3 hours, the first marathoners had gone over that finish line, and some were, of course, very tired. This was the first time the Bakersfield Marathon had been able to race in person since going virtual the last 2 years during the pandemic. So now let's go ahead and take a look ahead to what's happening this week around town. As we've been talking about today, Dr. Jill Biden in Kern County as part of her final stop on a 3-city tour. Tomorrow is National Vietnam Day. The Portrait of a Warrior Gallery will invite the public to a Welcome Home Vietnam Veterans event. That's from 9 to 10 at 1925 I Street. Wednesday, the Bakersfield Museum of Art is hosting yoga at the museum from 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. Should have beautiful weather for that. Thursday, check out Art Mix, a curated cocktail party, also at the Bakersfield Museum of Art. That's from 7 to 9 p.m. Friday, the Kern County Career Expo and Symposium are hosting a career fair at the Career Technical Education Center in Southwest Bakersfield. I'm honored to say I will be there presenting as a meteorologist with KGET. Saturday, the City of Bakersfield Animal Care Center is hosting an animal clinic from 9 a.m. to noon at Beale Park on Oleander Avenue. And Sunday, the CSUB baseball team faces off against Cal State Fullerton at 1 p.m. And now to news of the coronavirus. Numbers are down locally as we move from a pandemic to an endemic. The Kern County Public Health Department now releases their data 3 times a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So this is our first update since Friday, which will show higher numbers from over that 3-day span. But the CDC says that transmission in Kern County is considered low. Today's number has 65 new positive cases, but also 8 new deaths attributed to the virus. State data has us listed with 25 patients hospitalized with COVID-19 in Kern County and 7 listed in intensive care units. Meanwhile, today China begun its most extensive coronavirus lockdown in 2 years in an attempt to control a growing outbreak in Shanghai. Residents will be required to test multiple times a day and stay at home, or multiple times a week, and stay at home. Their deliveries will be left at checkpoints to ensure there is no contact with the outside world. Offices and all businesses not considered essential will be closed and public transport suspended. We're hearing about panic buying on Sunday with supermarket shelves completely cleared of food, beverages, and household items. Additional barriers have been erected in neighborhoods today with workers in hazmat suits staffing some checkpoints. And now to entertainment news. In case you haven't seen it, a stunning moment during the 94th Academy Awards last night overshadowed much of Hollywood's big post-pandemic comeback. Will Smith hit Chris Rock after the stand-up comedian made a joke about the actor's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, starring in a sequel to G.I. Jane due to her bald head. Now, in 2018, Pinkett Smith opened up about her hair loss due to alopecia, which is an autoimmune disorder, and in 2021, she revealed a shaved head. Smith appeared to laugh off the joke at first while Pinkett Smith frowned, but then a moment later, Smith got out of his seat, walked up onto the stage, and slapped Rock in front of a stunned worldwide audience. Smith then returned returned to his seat, unleashing a torrent of profanity-laced comments toward Rock, which were silenced during the national broadcast. Now, Smith later apologized to the Academy and his fans in his acceptance speech after winning Best Actor for his role in King Richard. The Academy later issued a statement on Twitter saying the Academy does not condone violence of any form. Tonight, we are delighted to celebrate our 94th Academy Award winners who deserve this moment of recognition from their peers and movie lovers around the world. But just into the newsroom 4 minutes ago, we're hearing from AP News, the Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts and Sciences says it condemns the actions of Will Smith during Sunday night's Oscars, and it will launch a formal review of his slapping of presenter Chris Rock.
The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.